When a franchise crumbles, the lazy play is always the same. Blame the face, never fix the foundation. But when the face is a young, confident black woman, oh, the smear campaign writes itself. And that's exactly what's going down in Chicago. Bam! What's up with the squad? It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies. Welcome back to another raw and real episode of Cess Talk Sports, BY's PoliSports Tea Time. And today, this one ain't just business, it's personal and political. Let's talk about the Chicago Sky. A franchise is spiraling, not because of talent, but because of ego, power, and piss poor leadership. And like too many broken systems, instead of owning up to the mess, they found the easiest target to deflect with, the black woman front and center. Let's be all the way clear. They fired Coach Teresa Weatherspoon, a legend, a leader, and the only one in that building who had Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso trending for the right reasons. She was building something new, something real. The chemistry was clicking, the culture was shifting, and then boom, gone, out of there. Enter Jeff Paglio, the new GM. And instead of building on what was working, he decided to play puppet master. Fired Teaspoon out of nowhere and brought in Tyler Marsh, a man with zero head coaching experience, who's now gifted Chicago the worst start in franchise history. But rather than own that fumble, the Sky front office did what scare systems always do: weaponize the media and point fingers at the most visible one in the room. And here come the headlines. Not about coaching, not about the front office shakeup, not about the roster, but about Angel Reese. Now all of a sudden it's about her attitude, her maturity, her leadership. Nah, don't fall for the play. This ain't about Angel. This is about a system that would rather protect mediocre men and blame black women than face the truth. So let's talk about it. Why is Angel Reese being painted as the problem? Who's feeding these media narratives? And why now? And how does this fit into the larger historical pattern of blaming black women to cover for institutional failure? To break it all the way down, I'm bringing in the one and only, my co-host, my sister truth-telling, and a cultural force in her own right, the brilliant Political Lil. Let's unpack the agenda, connect the dots, and name names. Because this ain't just about the Sky. It's about how the game gets played when the face of the franchise looks like us. Let's get into it.
Oh, thank you, Auntie Seth. You already know when the system starts shaking, they don't fix the cracks. They just blame the bricks. And Angel Reese, she's the most visible brick holding up a shaky Chicago Sky structure. Let's not sugarcoat it. This ain't just about sports. It's sports is politics. And politics always has a villain. Coach Weatherspoon was fired without warning, without explanation, without respect. That sent a direct message, not just to Angel and Camilla, but to the entire league. Black leadership is disposable. What the Sky did was deeper than basketball. They assassinated trust. They took a woman building culture, chemistry, and community and replaced her with a man fans didn't even ask for and players don't yet trust. What happened next? They light a media firestorm and pushed the idea that Angel's energy, Angel's interviews, Angel's confidence are too much. That's not critique. That's coded language. That's racism with glitter on it. The Chicago media has a long and ugly track record here. Ask Derrick Rose, who was crucified for protecting his body and his future. Ask Luol Deng, who was labeled too soft despite being the team's anchor. And now here we go again, blaming a black woman who's doing everything right, leading the league in rebounds, playing out of position, carrying the team on her shoulders, and somehow she needs to step up. Nah, let's tell the truth. This ain't about hustle. It's about hiding failure. Jeff is running a damage control campaign, and he's doing it off Angel's name. The fans aren't dumb. They saw how the team shifted after Coach Spoon left. The joy disappeared. The strategy disappeared. And now the accountability has disappeared too. All we're getting is this tired playbook where young black athletes are expected to be both miracle workers and emotional mules. But we see the play. This is propaganda, and Angel is just the latest victim.
See, if you still think this ain't strategic, then you ain't been paying attention to how sports politics really move. This ain't random. This ain't coincidence. This is a calculated distraction, a whole media smokescreen designed to keep y'all from looking at the real wreckage. The Chicago Sky front office broke something they got no clue how to fix. They thought they could toss Teaspoon, slide in a rookie coach, sell some jerseys, and ride Angel Reese's shine all the way to the bank. But now that it's falling apart, now that the product on the court is ugly, they don't want to own that L. They want to hand it to a black woman like it's hers to carry. Nah, not on our watch. We're not letting them rewrite this narrative. See, this episode, we about to do what the media is scared to do. We naming names. We breaking down the agenda. And we putting the accountability right back where it belongs. On the front office, on the coach, on the ownership, and on the Chicago media machine that would rather stir drama than report truth. So buckle the hell up, because we just getting warmed up. Let's get into this. You ever peep out when a franchise starts free falling, they don't rework the system? They just go hunting for the boldest, blackest woman in the room and try to make her the villain? That ain't no accident. That's page 1 of the Politics of Distraction playbook. And now we flipping straight to the chapter and calling out every move. Because when the front office starts fumbling, when the coach ain't got no answers, and when ownership too quiet to own their mess, that's when they start spinning. They manufacture beef. They plant hit pieces. They give you chaos, so you stop asking real questions. And if you're wondering where this script came from, let me put you on game. Edward Bernays, look him up. The so-called father of public relations. He once said, if you could control what people see and hear, you can control what they believe. Translation, keep folks emotionally distracted and you can bury the truth right in front of them. That's what's happening in Chicago. They don't want y'all analyzing Jeff Paglio's power or Tyler Marsh's L column. They want you reacting to Angel Reese's every word, every step, every facial expression. It ain't journalism. It's propaganda dressed in box scores and press conferences. Let's be real. This ain't basketball coverage. This is opinion warfare in a league built by black women, now being sold off one hit piece at a time. Let's unpack this playbook and remind them we see all the moves.
Absolutely, Auntie. Let's take it all the way there. What the Sky is doing isn't just bad PR. It's a psychological operation, and it starts with what Edward Bernays calls mastering consent, manufacturing consent. In his book, Propaganda, Bernie showed how elites manufacture the masses, not by telling outright lies, but by feeding selected truths, controlling headlines, and building narratives that feel like common sense. That's what the Sky is doing, flooding the zone with commentary about Angel's behavior, deflecting from their poor hiring and strategic collapse. That's propaganda disguised as sport talk. Now enter Tom Burrell, author of Brainwash, challenging the myth of black inferiority. Burrell explains how media has conditioned both black and white audiences to associate blackness, especially outspoken black femininity, with chaos, disruption, and attitude. That's why Angel gets called too emotional, too visible, and too much, while a white player is called competitive or driven. See, this is coded messaging designed to recenter white comfort and push unapologetic black expression. And let's not forget the intellectual ancestor of them all, W.E.B. Du Bois, who gifted us with the concept of double consciousness. He said black folks are always seeing themselves through the eyes of others. For black athletes, especially women, this means you don't just have to perform on the court. You have to perform respectability off the court. You're expected to smile when you're disrespected, win without celebrating too loud, and lead without ever showing your frustration. But Angel didn't show up to be America's humble sweetheart. She came to dominate. And that's the threat. That's the distraction. Because the truth is, they don't want you to be great. They want you to be grateful, quiet, compliant, and invisible. But Angel ain't playing that game. And that's exactly why they're attacking her.
Let's be real. Lil just laid it out with no filter, no fluff. Straight truth, no chaser, and the ancestors just co-signing every word, y'all. I'm gonna start this one more time for the folks in the back still trying to play dumb. This franchise ain't just failing to protect its star. It's weaponizing a whole legacy to scapegoat her. And every time we let that narrative fly, we help them bury the truth. But not here, not ever. It's Let's Talk Sports, BY's PoliSports Tea Time. We're not going to just spill the tea. We're going to break it down. We're going to name the ingredients. And we're going to call out who in the kitchen dirtying up the dishes. Up next, we're going to peel back the layers, exposing the power plays behind the scenes, calling out the folks hiding behind media fog, and breaking down exactly why the Sky front office thought dragging Angel Reese was going to fix the mess they made. Spoiler alert, it didn't fix nothing. It just showed us who really ain't built for this. Stay locked in. We still cooking. Chicago ain't dealing with a talent problem, Lil. They're dealing with a truth problem. This whole mess with the Sky, it ain't about basketball. It's about power, perception, and who gets protected when things fall apart. Now hear this loud. Jeff Paglio is not some new GM finding his way. He's a man with access, influence, and a system backing his every move. And he's using all of that to spin a narrative that deflects heat off him and dumps it all on the backs of black women. Let's run it back. He fired Coach Teresa Weatherspoon. And for what? A coach the players respected, who had folks suiting up through injury, who turned rookies into primetime names, who brought life and discipline to a squad that was damn near forgotten. And let's not sleep on what she did for Kennedy Carter. Resurrected her confidence, put her in positions to shine, and helped her start silencing all the noise around her name. So what they do? Let her walk. No contract, no announcement, just gone. 2 black women, 1 franchise, no accountability. Then they bring in Tyler Marsh. No W head coaching experience. No bond with the roster, and no proof he was ready for this smoke. And what's the result? Losses, chaos, a team that looks more disconnected every game. But does Jeff wear that? Nah, he ran straight to the media. The same media that always got smoke for black women that starts floating stories. Suddenly, Angel Reese ain't a rising star. She's a problem. She's too confident, too loud. Need to grow up. Get out of here. This ain't about growth. This is about gaslighting. This is about narrative control. And what we watching in real time is not coaching. It's a cover-up. And over here, we're going to pull the curtain all the way back. Let's go, Lil.
Exactly, Seth. What we're witnessing is a classic case of corporate scapegoating, sports edition. Let's break it down. When things go wrong in business, leadership doesn't admit fault. They manufacture an internal enemy. In this case, the GM is spinning a tale where the 2-year black woman becomes the reason for the collapsing franchise. That's not an analysis. That's deflection by design. Paglio is trying to manage the optics, not the outcome. And he's doing it by leaning on racist, sexist tropes to shift the spotlight. Think about it. Angel Reese is only in her second year of her career. She's playing out of position. She's leading the league in rebounds. And somehow she's the problem. Not the GM who blew up a promising team. Not the coach who can't win with 2 lottery picks. We've seen this before. It's sharecropping in jerseys. You get the spotlight, but none of the say-so. They'll sell your jerseys, market your TikToks, but they won't give you the power in the locker room or protection in the press. And when things go south, they blame you for the mess they made. And let's not skip over how calculated these media leaks are. You got Sky insiders feeding little comments to trusted reporters, painting Angel as emotionally immature and not coachable. Sound familiar? That's the exact language used to undermine Serena, Venus, Sha'Carri, and Simone. When a black woman refuses to shrink, they say she's out of control. When a white executive loses control, they say he's under pressure. Let's be real. This is not about basketball IQ. It's about protecting white male ego. Jeff is shielding his rep. Tyler hiding behind the learning curve. And Angel's being hung out to dry in a league that claims to support women, but never protects the black ones when the backlash hits.
Damn, you said a whole sermon and handed us the blueprint on how this propaganda play gets run in real time. But let me stir the pot just a little harder, because the tea is scalding. They really thought they could play chess with the checkers mindset. Fire the black coach, silence the loudest star, feed the press talking points, gaslight the fans into confusion. And guess what? It's blowing up in their face. The real ones ain't sleep. The fans see the energy shift. The joy is gone. The squad looks uninspired. Ain't nobody smiling on that court, and no one's buying the weak-ass narratives the media's been spoon-feed. So let's say it with our whole chest to the Chicago Sky front office. We see y'all. We see the agenda. We see the play, and it ain't going to work. You can't fire your way into leadership. You can't PR spin your way into a winning culture. And you damn sure can't keep using black women as your public punching bags while you hide behind post-game quotes and media relationships. Now let's get to the centerpiece of this whole mess. Angel Reese. Angel ain't just walked into the W like a rookie. She walked in like a boss with a brand, with brilliance, with a whole movement behind her. She walked in repping black girl excellence, Gen Z confidence, and cultural impact and trust. They've been waiting to humble her since day one. Fast forward to now. We ain't even halfway through her sophomore pro season, and somehow she gone from rookie of the year energy to being blamed for every single thing wrong with this team. But let's keep it a buck. Angel Reese is being scapegoated. Let's break it all the way down. She's been forced into a new position, made the anchor of the defense, asked to lead emotionally, clean the glass, bang the paint, protect the rim, cook the dinner, bring lunch, and still put up points. And while playing in a broken system with no offensive rhythm, no consistent rotations, no practice facility, and a rookie coach who looked lost more than locked in. There's no real shooters, no real playmakers, just chaos. And Angel is expected to clean it all up and keep smiling for the cameras. And yet, every time this guy take an L, the headline ain't front office fumble chemistry, is Angel Reese need to grow up. Angel shows frustration. Is Angel hurting the team's culture? Why? Because it's always easier and safer to blame the black woman with the mic. than hold the white man with the power accountable for building a flawed-ass foundation. Let me say that again. It's safer to blame the black woman with the mic than hold the white man with the power accountable for building a flawed-ass foundation. But let's be clear. Angel ain't the problem. She's the proof. The proof that when black women shine too bright, the system don't adjust the lens. It tries to dim the light. Not today. Not here. Not ever.
Right. And let's talk about how they're doing it. Because this isn't just critique. It's gendered racial bias in full effect. Now let's compare the coverage. When Caitlin Clark has a bad game, the media talks about growing pains, adjustment, or how the team needs to support her better. When Sabrina Ionescu struggles, it's about the coaching staff needing to optimize her role. Even Satu Sably, who is a veteran, is treated with grace during setbacks. But Angel, she's called emotional. She's accused of creating drama. They say she needs to be more focused on basketball, which is always a code word for stop being visible, loud, and unapologetically black. That's not just basketball talk. That's coded cultural discipline. Let's be clear. Angel Reese is not just being critiqued. She's being targeted in a way that reflects the historical policing of black women's behavior in public spaces. She's been told, calm down, smile more, show sportsmanship, be grateful. But never told what we tell white stars. We got your back. We'll build around you. Let's grow together. Angel numbers don't lie. She's a walking double-double, a top rebounder, a force inside. She's doing her job and then some. But because the Sky front office can't own their failures, she becomes the face of their frustration. This is what Du Bois called double consciousness in action. Angel has to ball out while carrying the burden of how she's perceived, not just as a player, but as a symbol, a brand, a black woman walking in her power in a white-owned league with white media control. And that's the root of the backlash, not her performance, not her press conferences, and not her persona. It's really because of her refusal to shrink.
Let me get to it like this. They want Angel Reese to carry the cross, but never touch the crown. This ain't about leadership, it's about control. This ain't about chemistry, it's about compliance. Angel walked into the league with something they couldn't manufacture in no boardroom. Her own story, her own money, her own movement, her own brand. And that scares the hell out of people who've been comfortable molding stars in their image. So instead of building around her, they started writing a script for her downfall. But here's the part that they keep getting twisted. Angel ain't here to be liked. She's here to be legendary. And yeah, that do sound like a t-shirt. Don't play. And the real ones, we see it. We feel it. We stand 10 toes down with her. And we're applying pressure in the direction it actually belongs. On the front office, on the ownership, on the coach, on the Chicago media machine that's been running the same tired-ass play since forever. Blame the black woman. Save the system. But here's where it shifts. We watching now. We document it. We organize it. We remember it. Because every spin, every leak, every slick headline is being clocked and cataloged. Y'all wanted a scapegoat when what you got is a movement. So here's the energy from here on out. We ain't debating Angel's worth. We ain't defending her presence. We're demanding accountability and pulling receipts with interest. Because this ain't just about basketball. It's about who gets protected, who gets punished, and who gets played. The streets got screenshots, and the timeline got range. Let's pull some of these fan receipts because the people been talking, and they not sugarcoating nothing. On X, so you fire Teaspoon, hire a rookie, put Reese out of position. She's the problem. GTFOH. This is the front office is embarrassing. They didn't even try to re-sign Kennedy Carter. She was cooking under Teaspoon, and now she's gone. That was on the WNBA Reddit thread. Angel out here playing center, leading the league in rebounds, and the media is asking her to show more leadership. What's Tyler Marsh doing? That was a YouTube comment. Every time a black woman shines, y'all want her to dim her light. But we're not going for that. Hashtag stand with Angel. That was an IG comment under a Sky post. This ain't just noise. This is collective memory kicking in. Because let's be real, Chicago got a long history of doing its stars dirty, especially the black ones. And if we don't say something now, they're going to run the same play again on the next one. And Angel, she ain't the one to play with.
That's right, Seth. And look, fans, don't forget, not when they've seen it happen to Derrick Rose. He got dragged when his knees went out after carrying a franchise. Luol Deng, underappreciated while being the heartbeat of the team. Even in football, Justin Fields got more criticism than support early on. There's a pattern here. When a black athlete dares to speak up, show emotion, or demand excellence, they're not called passionate. They're called problematic. But guess what? This ain't 1994. These fans are educated, organized, and vocal. And I've seen local sports journalists and activists speak out. Folks like Jamal Cole from my block, my hood, my city, has been echoing the sentiment. Don't gaslight our athletes, build around them. You even got independent media calling this out on podcasts and community radio. The grassroots ain't having it. The people are saying we don't need scapegoats, we need solutions. You can't spend your way into the playoff spot. We saw chemistry under Teaspoon. We saw hustle. You broke that up. Now own it.
Say that. Because here's what institutional gaslighting never accounts for. Black communal memory. We remember everything. We remember how y'all tried to tear down Serena for showing emotion while calling it fire when white men did the same. We remember how Simone Biles was treated when she prioritized her mental health. We remember how y'all dragged Sha'Carri Richardson for doing what white athletes have done without consequence. So when the same recycled script starts running in Chicago, yeah, we recognize it immediately. And just so we clear, we're not here for it. We're not here for it. Not to the Chicago Sky front office. Let's speak direct. The fans may not be in your war rooms, but we know what loyalty looks like. We saw it on the court. We heard it in the crowd. We felt it in the chemistry. You didn't just lose games. You lost trust because you broke something that was working. And now you want to turn around and make Angel Reese the price of your mismanagement. Absolutely not. Not on this mic, not on this platform, and not on our watch.
So what's next? The fans are organizing. They're speaking out and they're saying, stop deflecting and start fixing. That means invest in the right coach. Stop feeding the media narratives. Own your decisions. And most importantly, protect your players. Not punish them for your poor planning. Because this game of scapegoating, it's not new. And we're true to the resistance. And this time we got receipts, reach, and righteous rage.
That's the real tea, period. See, coming up next, we're going to close this out with the clapback and the call to action. And a reminder that sports ain't ever just about the scoreboard. It's about narratives they push and the power they protect. So let's end this standing on truth. Let's call this mess exactly what it is. Institutional gaslighting. Because what we're dealing with, not just blame, not just biased press. This is full-blown psychological warfare dressed in team colors and sold as accountability. Let me break it down for people in the back who might still be catching up. What we're watching with Angel Reese, it's not random. It's not just tough love. It's a calculated play. The front office teamed up with a few media mouths and planted seeds of doubt. Doubt in the fan base, doubt in the locker room. And if they lucky, doubt inside Angel herself. That's gaslighting in sports. You take a young, confident black star doing her job, make her the face of a broken system, and flip the narrative until she's the distraction, not the chaos around her. Why? Because if they can get us to question Angel's leadership, they think we'll stop questioning their decisions. Nah, we ain't falling for it. We peep the play, we breaking the silence, and we bringing the pressure right back to where it belongs.
That's right, Seth. And it's not just shady. It's psychological manipulation rooted in racial power dynamics. Let's talk real world psychology for a second. That's the blame transference. Instead of accountability, the organization transfers the emotional and reputational weight of their failures onto the most visible player. That player becomes the emotional trash bin for an entire franchise's dysfunction. Discredited the truth teller. Oh, this is a classic. Angel stands confident, calls out the disrespect, plays her heart out, and speaks from the gut. What do? Paint her as disruptive. Not because she's wrong, but because her presence exposes the weakness of their leadership. And then you got respectability politics. And here's the kicker. If Angel were quieter, more palatable, more compliant, maybe they ease up. But she's not. She's unapologetically herself. Loud when she needs to be, stylish, confident, and black. So they hold her to a different standard of behavior, one laced with racist expectations. We see this pattern with black women across industries. If you don't shrink, they say you're difficult. If you lead, they say you're bossy. If you challenge the room, they say you're too much. It's the performance of humility they want, not the production of greatness.
Facts. Run that back for the folks still sipping slow. This right here is a playbook older than the league. Take the truth teller and paint her as a problem. Take the backbone and call it attitude. While the world debates her tone, they keep making reckless decisions behind closed doors, unchecked. Let's not dance around it. This ain't about basketball. It's about control. They want everything Angel Reese brings to the table. The clout, the merch sales, the viral clips, the packed arenas, they love the attention, love the numbers, love the dollars. But lead the franchise, be the face on her own terms? Nah, they ain't ready for that. They want to profit from her presence without giving her the power. They want to use her influence but never follow her lead. They want her image but not her voice. That's not partnership. That's exploitation. That's sharecropping in sneakers. That's institutional gaslighting in real time. And let's be clear, that is unacceptable. Not in this league, not in this era, not with all eyes wide open.
So what's the move? The fans got to stay clear-eyed. Don't take the bait. Don't let the headlines rewrite the play. Ask better questions, demand better answers. And to the franchise, this is your wake-up call. We're not confused, we're not complicit, and we damn sure not quiet. You don't get to build a brand off Black excellence, then tear it down when your game plan fails. Not in 2025, not in this economy, and not with this fan base.
Let's go all the way in, because the receipts don't lie, but the scoreboard tells the whole damn story. This is the clapback, the comeback, and the confirmation that Angel Reese is not just a star, she's a standard. And just when they thought they had boxed her in, Angel Reese said, "Move, bitch, get out the way." And she came to slay. This Sunday, the same young woman they tried to label immature, not ready, or a distraction gave the media in that front office a clinic in greatness. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 blocks, 3 steals, a triple-double, a team win, a statement. Not just her first triple-double, but the second youngest in WNBA history, and the fastest ever done by a forward or a center. And let's be clear, she wasn't just padding stats. She was leading, dictating pace, setting tone, and ripping rebounds like they stole something from her mama. That performance, that's not just a game. That's a clapback. That's a clapback in high tops. That's what leadership looks like, sounds like, and wins like.
See, what Angel just did wasn't athletic. It was strategic, it was spiritual, and it was symbolic. She didn't just play. She reclaimed the narrative. She said, you want to play in the media? I'll answer on the court. You want to test my leadership? I'll lead us to victory. You want to throw me under the bus? I'll pull the damn thing off, y'all, and keep on driving. This is how Black women respond when they've been lied on, played with, and pushed too far. They don't just survive, they transform the heat into fuel. Angel Reese game on Sunday, that was a healing through domination. That was resistance through rhythm. That was a sermon with a stat line. And let me say this plain for those watching with the red pen. You cannot bury brilliance, you cannot gaslight greatness, and you cannot stop what's already been written.
Angel Reese is not your scapegoat. She's your savior in sneakers. If the Chicago Sky front office has even a sliver of integrity left, it's time to stop with the weak PR spins and start building with her. Not around her, not in spite of her, with her. Because while y'all busy pointing fingers, she's pointing to the scoreboard. While y'all hiding behind anonymous leaks, she's making WNBA history. While y'all trying to erase everything Teaspoon built, Angel just pulled that blueprint off the vault and ran the whole system like a seasoned vet. So here's the energy moving forward. This is the call to action to the fans. Keep the pressure on. Keep speaking truth. Defend your players. Show up. Speak out. And let your dollars, clicks, and chants demand accountability. Tweet it. Repost it. Rock the merch. Chant it courtside. To the media, stop running plays for the front office. Start doing real journalism. Ask what actually matters. Why was Teaspoon really fired? Why hasn't anyone in power owned the roster chaos? And why is the smoke always aimed at a 23-year-old phenom instead of the men who lit the match? To the organization, this ain't college ball. This the pros. You don't get to bench truth. You don't get to hide behind structure while the culture rots. Fix the foundation. Build with purpose. And show real respect to the Black women who are keeping your brand visible, marketable, and relevant. Angel Reese is the moment. Now act like you know.
And if you're still confused, just replay the game. Run back that film. Check the post-game highlights. Look into Angel Reese's eyes during the press conference. She didn't just win. She took back everything y'all tried to strip from her. Respect, control, power, pride. That triple-double wasn't just a stat. It was a spiritual correction. And the message was loud. I'm not going anywhere. You better be all right. Or you gonna get run over.
And that's the truth. And y'all been rocking with us Talk Sports and the BY's PoliSports Tea Time, where we don't just spill, we stir, we shake, we shine light on what they try to keep hidden. Because let's be real, sports ain't just about the games we play. It's about the stories we tell. And Angel Reese, she's not just part of the story. She's out here rewriting the whole damn book. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and pull up with 10 more folks to the table next time. We're not done, and neither is she. Now, let me leave y'all with this. Angel Reese ain't the problem. She's the mirror. And some of y'all just don't like what's staring back. But let's get one thing straight. It's not her job to fix your reflection. What we're witnessing, this ain't just about basketball. It's about how power punishes visibility. It's about how broken systems deflect blame onto the brightest presence in the room and hope we don't notice. But we see it. We naming it. And over here, we're not letting it slide. Keep watching. Keep riding. Keep checking the mirror. Because the light Angel brings is not dimming anytime soon.
Exactly, Seth. We're going to make it plain one more time. It's not about basketball. It's about power. Who gets it? Who's blamed when it slips? And how they spin the story when the house they built starts to crack. Angel Reese is not only playing her position, she's exposing the brokenness and how Black women are handled when they lead, when they shine, and when they fight. So here's what we do. Demand transparency from GM Jeff. Stop letting him throw rocks and hide behind his clipboard. Pressure the ownership for a real rebuild plan. Not just vibes, not just distractions, but vision, support, and accountability. Refuse to scapegoat the story. Stop allowing Black excellence to be turned into a villain when the system falls short. Support Angel Reese unapologetically. Buy the gear. Share the highlights. Defend her name. Show up and speak out.
If you're tired of sipping lies and spin from the media, if you're ready to pour some real tea and drop truth with your squad, then you already know where to pull up. Let's talk sports and BY's PoliSports Tea Time, where we serve it raw, spill it honest, and break down the game behind the game. No filters, no scripts, just facts, context, and accountability. Like it, comment on it, subscribe. Then hit your crew like come pour with us. The tea stay hot and the truth don't miss. Over here, we're not protecting power, we're protecting truth. And don't forget, sports ain't ever just about the game on the court. It's about the narratives they shape, the voices they silence, and the systems they protect. Here at Cess Talk Sports BY's PoliSports Tea Time, we don't just watch the game, we flip the lens, we drag the receipts, and we keep it all the way real. So stay tapped in, stay sharp, stay loud, stay rooted, because this ain't the end of the convo, this the start of the movement. Talk soon, keep pouring, we out, but the pressure is still on.